What's going on, people? What's up? It's your boy Porter Rock 77. Uh, Doing a quick live stream to provide you a channel update and also talk about party chatting with me on PSN. What's going on, people? What's up? It's your boy Porter Rock 77. Sounding kind of funky right now. Let me hear myself. I think I'm sounding kind of messed up, aren't I? I'm also going to talk about party chatting. Let me see. I'm trying to do a voice check. Yo, what's going on, Wills? Wills, how do I sound right now? Do I sound messed up? I'm biting, aren't I? Hold on, let me see if I can fix this real quick. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm biting now. Damn it, damn YouTube. YouTube always finds a way to mess things up. Okay, so let me fix this. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this. All right, how I sound now? Do I sound now? Because then if not, I'm gonna have to close this out and restart over. Do I sound better? Yeah, the Saturday curse. Can anybody hear me? I can hear myself. I think I'm something kind of messed up, aren't I? All right, how I sound now? Better? All right, no more botting. Good. Will it sound now? Clear. All right. Now I'm gonna have to close this out. Awesome. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I hear myself now better. All right, appreciate it. Okay. All right, so we're good. All right. Wow, the Saturday curse. I don't know, man. YouTube. I mean, this Google thing's been messing up. I don't know, but it's convenient anyway. So anyway, appreciate it. Thank you, all of you, for stopping by on short notice. I know this is not something that's planned, but I think I owe it to everybody just to provide a little update and also to talk about party chatting with me. I want to bring that up, and I'll explain that as I go through. So we're gonna start out with the 60 Frame No Lag podcast update I want to provide to you. Pretty much the main thing. Starting with this Wednesday, Titanfall Princess will no longer be part of a panel member of the 60 Frames No Lag podcast. And we're going to talk about that right now. And the reason why I want to talk about that is because I don't want the crumb side to set the narrative. Once my podcast hits next Wednesday and nobody sees her there, I don't want people to start making up stories about her or about me or about everything, So I'm gonna get ahead of the game and make the announcement now. So about yesterday before her podcast, we talked about on what happened on Wednesday and stuff like that. And we both, because we're both friends, in real life we play games, she'd be whooping my ass in Street Fighter. We outside of the YouTube stuff, we actually we just talk and enjoy our time, and you just play games and stuff like that. But we talked about what happened Wednesday and stuff like that. And this podcast is not about casting blame or anything. And what I want to address to the community is that her persona or what she does on YouTube is what's going to make her channel successful. And this is not about whether we agree or disagree in the direction that she's going. But the reality is she does have subscribers. She does have a fan base that appeals to this, to what she does, and her channel is growing based on what she does, So as her channel's growing, obviously she has to maintain, she does what she does. And that's what's going to make her channel successful. Whether people agree with it or not, that's not really the case. It's what she wants to do with her channel. How as a YouTube content creator, she's the Titanfall Princess. That is her YouTube. That's what she does. Good, bad, or indifferent. That is what she does, and that is the direction she's going to go, and she's going to continue with that direction. And I support her in her direction for what she wants to do on her channel. But as for me, on what I want to do on 60 Frames No Lag podcast, that's not really what I want for my channel, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying she's wrong or or she's right. It's not really about wrong or right. It's just direction of what we're both trying to do. And I'm not gonna ask her to be a different person or to not be Titanfall Princess specifically for my show because that's not fair to her. You know, you know, love it, love it or hate it. She's a Titanfall Princess. All right, and that's who she is. And she has the right to be that. All right, you know. And that's what's going to make her successful, being that person. Because there were people who, who enjoyed, appreciated, and they have her back. And I have her back too. But they like her for who she is. So I can't have her. Or I wouldn't say can't, but I wouldn't ask of her to be a different person on my podcast because that might ruin what she's trying to do on her podcast. I don't want people to look at her like she's fake or whatever. She needs to be her, at all times. And anybody who invites her to their podcast, you're gonna get the Titanfall Princess. So it's not right for me to ask of her to change her persona and for her to act a different way and to do a different thing and to just to do different things for the sake of my show, because that will be a backlash on her. Because they're gonna look at her like, wait a minute, on your channel you're like this, but when you go on Porter Rock's channel, you're a completely different person, and then everybody will just attack her. And no, she needs to be real. Love it or hate it, that's who she is. You either take it or you leave it. You don't like the way she is, don't follow her channel, don't follow Twitter. If you do like what she is, then support her and subscribe to her. That's all that could be said. Okay. But as far as my channel, that's not what I'm looking for specifically. Not saying that what she's doing is wrong. It's just not what I'm trying to do. So when we chatted, people thought, I don't want people to think that that she flipped out on me and all that. No, she was very understandable. She's very supportive. Because like I said, all outside of this YouTube stuff, we're friends and we chill and we play games. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So she understands my vision. She understands her vision. You understand what I'm saying? That's why, and this conversation happened before her podcast that she had on Friday. And go check out her podcast. Her podcast goes every Friday, 7 p.m. And I was still on it, because what I'm saying, she understands everything, So, it wasn't a situation where you would thought that she would take it the wrong way. She perfectly understood what it was, and she perfectly understands that that she's not going to change her ways. And I wasn't asking her to, because I knew that's what she needs to do, and that's what's going to make, and her fans are going to appreciate that. Her fans are going to appreciate what she does on YouTube. There's going to people who don't appreciate. There's people who don't like what I do, but that's what it is. You're going to have, you can't please everybody. Everybody has to go their own route. Everybody's going to have to do her own thing. And everybody's going to have their own personality and how they want to project themselves. It's not wrong or right. Everybody has their own personality. But at the end of the day, you're responsible for your own success. I'm responsible for what I'm doing. And she's responsible for what she does and how she wants to be successful. That's what's going to take her there, and it wouldn't be fair for me to ask her to be something different for the sake of my own success. That's just selfish. And I think that probably would have held her back. You know what I mean? And that's not right. That's not right on her. I know initially it may not seem like that. Some people say, well, oh, that's just an excuse. No, the truth is she is the Titanfall Princess, and she needs to maintain that person. She needs to stay that way. She can't adjust or shift or nothing. She is who she is, and she's going to be successful at that. And she's going to have her subscriber base is growing, her fan base are growing, and they're going to appreciate that she maintains who she is the whole time. As for me, I developed this channel a certain way. In the beginning, a lot of people were confused about me. In the beginning, some people thought I was going to be a hardcore Sony dude. And then people were like, oh, no, okay, wait a minute. Is this guy an Xbox dude? And then some people are like, well, wait a minute. Is this guy playing the fence? Just trying to get subscribers. There was a lot of descriptions about me. But then ultimately, people realize, wait a minute, he just wants to talk about games. Yeah, he'll do a little pot shot, a little joke here and there. But as always, my intent is not so much to focus like on fanboys or shit talkers. My intent for my channel and for my podcast is to address the information and try to, how can I put it, and try to make sure the right information is being discussed, you know? So for example, I'll use the example, the whole 60 FPS on Destiny 2. When a lot of channels was talking about it, you know, they use that angle of either it's PlayStation Pro's fault or the Scorpio CPU is too weak and you're not going to get 60 frames on Destiny. You know, and those conversations was pretty much to establish a narrative. You know, either the narrative of PlayStation sucks and they're anti-consumer, or the narrative of, oh, Scorpio sucks and Microsoft lied, is not the beast. That was the narrative that, you know, some channels were trying to go with. On the 60 Frames Don't Like podcast and the guests, we try to be realistic and we're talking to the consumers like it has nothing to do with the Pro, it has nothing to do with the Scorpio. It is just simply because on Xbox One is 30 frames, the developers are not gonna, you know, spend their efforts to make it 60 frames on another console, even though, you know, on another console, despite both consoles on the same network. They're just gonna keep it 30 across. One, they don't want to deal with the backlash from the Xbox One community, and two, it makes it easier for them to maintain the network and the performance. They don't want to deal with patches, worrying about two separate performances. So you could call that lazy, but that's the reality. You know, so that's the type of things we try to do. We try to get the information that's getting out of hand and take that information and properly display it and talk about it so that way all you listeners get the benefit of, you know, a non-fanboy way of looking at things, you know, and that's what we try to do here. You know, we all try to, you know, for all you listeners, we want to hear, you know, you guys want to hear that, you know, and that's the direction of this channel. All right. So Wednesday, when I have the podcast at 7 p.m., you're not gonna see Titanfall Princess. And she already announced on her podcast yesterday that she wasn't gonna do a podcast Friday because she has personal business to attend to, right? What I was afraid that if I didn't make this announcement or this video, this live stream right now, people would look at what happened on Wednesday and then assume because she didn't do a podcast Friday, things are going south, or, you know, some people would just make up stories, you know, and I didn't want that to happen. You know, she's going to continue her podcast. I'm still a member on her podcast, and we both agreed. Well, you know, it's already decided that she won't be on the 60 Frames No Like podcast. But that's also a benefit to her. I say it's also respect for her because I'm not going to ask her to be something different, be someone different just for my podcast. That's not right for her and for her future growth on what she's trying to do. All right. As far as the panel members, it's going to stay with Craig Harris, Jay Fonzarelli, aka Everything According to Me, and All Day Digital Entertainment. You know, All Day Digital Theory. I'm sorry, it said Entertainment Theory. Shout out to you guys for being in the chat room. Shout out to Jay and All Day. Thanks for showing up. Everybody else up in here. So that's gonna be my panel. I'm not adding a new member at this point. I'm not looking towards adding a new member yet. I won't be for a while. I need to have a little bit of consistency, you know, and whatever people may feel about Titanfall, I'm gonna say this: I appreciate what she brought to the table. You know, to give a little backstory, when I started the channel, I didn't really have a podcast. Zaire helped me get on the YouTube thing by me doing his podcast, and he's giving me tip on you know, starting my stuff, and he was willing to be on my podcast, and a whole bunch of people were willing to be on my podcast. The only thing was it was a whole bunch of Xbox people, and so I didn't take him up on his offer because I didn't want it to look like another Xbox podcast. I needed to figure out how and who I can have to balance out so I can have various opinions. Yeah, I'm sorry. So I can have various opinions What's up, Trey BK? What's up, Johnson? What's up, everybody? But I want various opinions so it doesn't look like a particular podcast. So it took me a while, So if you look early days in my channel last year, I was doing podcasts by myself. It was just me talking, and some people made fun of me, but I had to figure out. And what I was doing was I was inviting people here and there, this and that, and everything get together. And I think I remember originally it was Titanfall Princess, HP North, and All Day Theory, All Day Digital Theory, my man All Day, and we were the original members of the podcast. A couple of months ago and stuff like that. Once we, and I think all of you guys started out as guests, and it just flowed good, and then we all got together. You know what I'm saying? We all got together, and then we just kept flowing. Everybody started doing their own thing. Titanfall Princess started getting bigger, bigger, and bigger, and things were just flowing. Along the way, a couple of missteps, a couple of arguments, a couple of things here and there. I'm not gonna rehash everything, but over time, the podcast grew, conversations grew, and now we're here. But I will say, for the time Titanfall Princess was part of the podcast, she helped stabilize and normalize and just brought things to the table. And I appreciate it. And I always appreciate that, So, I'd say upfront that I appreciate everything Titanfall did for the podcast. And of course, I support her in her endeavors. I always got her back. And she's going to continue to grow. Her channel is going to grow. And she's going to gain a lot of subscribers. A lot of subscribers like the content she makes, and I support her on that. So with that, I want to say, with this topic, I'm not going to talk about everything that happened on Wednesday. To me, that's already over. What's done is done. The conversation's already been had. Decisions already been made. We're moving forward so we can continue to grow. I'm not going to go have conversations talking about it. I'm not going to be part of anything where people take advantage of this situation to attack or bash Titanfall. Because I'm going to tell you, you try to use this against her, she's going to go at you because that's who she is. She's not going to stay down quiet. No. So I just say, let it go. Let bygones be bygones, and let's move forward so that way we all can grow and be successful in our endeavor as content creator on YouTube. Right? That's pretty much all I can say. But from this point on, I'm not gonna talk about it no more. I'm not gonna go on somebody else's podcast to talk about it. I'm not gonna participate bashing her, and I'm not gonna tolerate seeing her getting bashed on my timeline either. I'm not gonna see that. I'm gonna block. I'm gonna do all that. I'm not gonna get involved in this, and I'm not gonna stand for her getting attacked either. So let's just let that be, and let's all try to grow as content creators and find our own path. And I definitely wish her so much success, and I know she's gonna be successful. So that's all with that. So that's pretty much the podcast. Podcast will still go same bad time, same bad channel, same bad place. And the the cast members will be, Jay, aka Everything According to Me, my boy All Day, Digital Theory, and Top Flight Security of the World, Craig Harris, and then of course myself. It will be us four. And then of course we'll have guests of various flavors and stuff like that. I welcome guests of all types, PC gamers, Nintendo, especially, Nintendo Switch is really a hot item on the market. So I see lots of activity for Nintendo YouTubers. So please, if you're a Nintendo YouTuber, hit me up. I would love to have you as a guest and stuff. So I would appreciate that. Same thing with PC gamers and, of course, Xbox gamers and PlayStation gamers. So, we're going to have great conversations and stuff like that. So definitely. All right. So now the next topic I want to talk about is party chat with Rock. So something came to my attention. And I didn't realize this situation. For some of you, this was a situation. I didn't even know what was going on. Some of you may not know what I'm talking about. Some of you may have. But so a lot of people, I get a lot of, thanks with my channel growing, a lot of you send me friend requests, and I of course I accepted. You know, but I got a few of you that messaged me asking when would be a good time to party up and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, anytime, just send me an invite, But some people felt that when they see me online playing a game, they didn't want to send me an invite because they thought that they would be interrupting my game session. Um, so they didn't want to be rude and interrupt my time gaming. And I think it's because there was a couple of times, whether it's on the podcast or on a video I uploaded, there was a couple of times I mentioned that when I video game on a console, it's me enjoying my time, doing my thing. And I think some of you took that as leave me alone, don't bother me. And that wasn't my intention when talking about that. That's not really my intention. Um that really wasn't really the point. My point was not to bother me or whatever. So I'm gonna do something to make it easier for my subscribers, my Twitter followers, and of course my PSN friends list. I'm gonna make things easier for you guys, so that way you don't feel like you're intruding on my personal space while I'm playing a game. So what I'm gonna do is and spread this around. When I go online, I'll create a party room, and I'm gonna call it 60 frames no lag party. All right. So whenever you go online and you see I created a room called 60 frames no lag party, that means you are automatically invited. So it's pretty much fit in where you can get in. No invite no invite needed. You just jump right in. I'll have it up. You just jump right in, and we could shoot the breeze, shoot the shit. Maybe we'll all decide if we have a game we can all play together, or we just play while we play, and we just play and just talk. Perfect time to talk about the podcast, about gaming, or just get to know me. I get to know you guys. That's really it. It's just shooting a breeze. So I just want to advertise that, talk about it amongst each other, stuff like that. If you're on the PSN, but I'll start creating a room and I'll call it 60 frames no lag party, and you just jump right in. Don't even hesitate to ask. You just jump right in, and you be like, "Hey, what's up, Brock?" And I'll be like, "Hey, what's up?" You know, um, if your name's different than what I recognize on Twitter or YouTube, then just let me know. If you have a different name, be like, "Yo, this is me." On Twitter, you see me as this person, or on YouTube, uh, you see me on this one. Uh, so I think that'll open up. That'll get me a little bit closer to the community, you know, and I think that's a good thing. I say I appreciate the consideration. I appreciate you guys, um, are considerate that you see me online and you don't want to bother me. You let me play my games. I appreciate that consideration and respect. But that wasn't my intention. So just to open it up to make everyone feel more comfortable, I'll do that podcast. I'll do that party room, and you just jump right in anytime. Obviously, it's only a max of 8, so you know, fit in where you could get in, and I appreciate that. Okay, uh, fucking Jay. All right, so I saw a comment here. Put my podcast on iTunes. I'm looking into that because I don't know how to do that, so I have to because I never done anything like that before. So I'll just research it, and once I start doing that, yeah, I'll definitely put my podcast on iTunes. Um, And what I'm saying? So I'll try to expand the podcast to make it easier, because I know YouTube is a pain in the butt um to listen to while you're driving and stuff like that, with the internet connection, whatever. So I'll definitely look into finding various ways of how to upload my podcast, so that way you guys could download it and listen to it. Uh and do that. All right. So that's pretty much the info I want to the past. But since I got you guys here, is there any questions that you guys want me to answer? And then I'll answer it right here. Somebody says ask Rand. He puts TXR on there. Yeah, I'll ask Rand. That's a good point. I'll ask him, see if he can help me out. Whatever. I'll also Google it and I'll do that. But is there any questions for people here in the chat? And I got 44 people watching, so hit that like button if you can. Uh anything? and I'll be happy. What's up, Porter? How's your Saturday? My Saturday is good and stuff like that. Waiting for my wife to get out of work. The military base has a special free screening of Wonder Woman. Uh, so Wonder Woman comes out next week. So the base is actually showing it. I don't know they got a deal or whatever. So all military members and their dependents are able to go watch it for free. So I'm about to go there. Hopefully we can make it, and hopefully we'll get a spot. Starts at 7 p.m. So we're gonna go and watch Wonder Woman. I'm looking forward to that. So just gotta wait for my wife to get out of work. Um, what console did I buy myself? So Reunion K console I bought myself. Me? Is that a question for me? Because I have the PlayStation 4. I'm looking into getting a Xbox One S this holiday. Give or take depending how I view um E3. But there's a few games I would like to play. Um, so yeah, and then also maybe in a year or two, cop me a Switch, depending. Unless they announce Metro Prime 4, I gotta get that Switch real quick. So that's it. Okay. PR, will you ever stream games? I don't think I will. Maybe like in a party chat. Now that I'm doing this 60 frames no like party, I probably will, just so I could get some characters up in there. But normally I'm not a game streamer, and the only reason why is I think streaming is a talent where you can play games and interact with the people. But with me, when I play a game, I get so into it, I forget there's people listening to me. So I'm pretty boring when it comes to that. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like walking and chewing gum for me. I can't do it at the same time. Maybe fighting games. I think I'll probably do it if I get like for fighting games, and I'll get people in a party and we just party it up and stuff. Or maybe with Destiny. I'll probably do it with Destiny. Who knows? We'll see. Uh, here's EJ Johnston. Here's my question: what would you do if Spyro the Dragon Remastered Remake Trilogy got announced at E3? Me personally, I really wouldn't care. I wasn't really be honest. I wasn't really into Spyro the Dragon. I played it, but it wasn't like a big thing for me. I'm sure a lot of fans will be excited because I know there's a lot of Spyro fans. So excited for them, and I'll report it. Um, let's see. Next question. You're gonna collaborate with Fame again? Think you two bounce off each other? Yeah. Well, I'll invite Fame again, and I'll invite other people again. And stuff like that. So I'm always open to cast. Again, a lot of people requested Fame on my podcast, and pretty much just keep sending your requests. If you see YouTubers you think will be cool, just hit me up on the DM and send me their name, and I'll put my effort to contact them, and let's see if it's possible. What else? What other question? Okay, so Jay says he knows how to put Pocket iTunes. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna hit up Jay. Maybe we could, hit up and find out and stuff how to do it. I appreciate that. Don't waste your money on that PR. Waste my money on what? From Superfly T and from TNT. Destiny 2 or what? Are you interested in Destiny 2? Definitely. Definitely. I love Destiny 1, especially like after the Taken King came out, that's when I really got into it. So yeah, so definitely Destiny 2 is a day one for me. Let's see. By that you mean internet friends that you say hi to on Crab Gamers channel. I don't know if that's a question for me. Um, let's see. Everything. Jay says we gotta get some Destiny 2 time in PR. Definitely. Oh yeah. I got my boys. You could definitely jump in. We'll get those light level ups. I got my brother-in-law. At a minimum, me, you, and my brother-in-law. We'll be killing it. You know what I'm saying? I also got my homegirl. Um, what I'm saying? So we be doing things on there. We're gonna have a good time in Destiny 2, definitely. Are you getting Tekken? Yep, I'll be getting Tekken also. It's crazy, but I'll be getting that. My wife loves Tekken also. That's one of the few games she actually loves to play. So I'll definitely be copping that. Um, all right, let's see. What's up, Dwayne Luster? What's going on? Let's see. Am I buying the Xbox Scorpio? No, it's gonna be the Xbox I'm getting is the Xbox One S. Again, I'm not one of those that were bashing Xbox for power and stuff like that. That's not really me. As long as you have the hardware to help developers push out the games they want, at the current generation, then I'm cool with that. Um, but I don't want to drop $400 or $500 on a console that I'm going to use as a secondary platform. The Xbox I'm going to use for their exclusives, and then the PlayStation is going to be for exclusives and multiplats, just simply because of the ecosystem and my friends are on it and the trophies. But I think this holiday, if Microsoft could push a $200 Xbox One S, and Game Pass, if it has most of the games I want to play, I think I'm going to go with that combo. But the Scorpio's not for me. And that's why I didn't get a Pro either. The mid-gen refreshes, I really don't care about that. What else? What is your number one wish for Xbox E3? That's a good question. And you know what? I'm gonna save that for my Microsoft pre E3 wishes. So we'll have a little video of me talking about that, and I'll have a whole bunch of video of talking about that. So good question, Reunion K. So stand by for my video. Sorry I can't answer it now, but that's going to be a video specifically for Microsoft, and I'm gonna do one for Nintendo and PlayStation before E3 hits. Woodland. Do you think PS Now will ever be incorporated into PS Plus? I hope. It depends how they do it. If they did it, if Sony should do this. This is how I would do it. Keep PS Plus separate, PS Now separately. They should have one that's separate version where you just subscribe to that. Have one with a PS Now and a PS Plus combination, and then just leave PS Plus. So there should be 3 services. You got the PS Plus, and that's it. You got PS Plus with Now, and then you just got PS Now. So that way the consumers can choose whatever, and and gamers can pick whatever they want. And I think that would be a good thing for the services. But what I don't want to see is PS Now gets combined with Plus, and then they raise the price for Plus, and there's no way to opt out, because I don't think that's fair to force people to raise the price of PS Plus for a service that you might not use, right? Taco, what's your favorite PS4 exclusive? Right now, it's Bloodborne and Horizon and Uncharted. But no, to be honest, Bloodborne, really, if I pick one, is Bloodborne. Bloodborne by far is my favorite exclusive on PS4. By far, Bloodborne. I love that game. That game was fantastic. Right behind it, I'm gonna have to say Horizon Zero Dawn. No, actually, no. I'm afraid that now I'm surprised. Number 1 is Bloodborne, and right after is Neo. Those are my 2 favorite. And I'm still playing here. Those 2, and I know maybe it's because it's the Dark Souls formula or whatever. And I know some people say, "Oh, it's the Dark Souls formula." Actually, I fell in love with that formula when PS3 had Demon Souls, because Demon Souls is one of my favorite games on PS3. So I just love those type of games. So yeah, and then I would say my third favorite right now is Horizon. That's PS4 exclusive. So it would be Bloodborne, Neo, Horizon Zero Dawn. What Xbox games? This is from Luca. What Xbox games are you interested in playing? My number 1, I'm interested in playing Rise. So the games I want to play and experience is Rise. I want to play Sunset Overdrive. Those are my 2 big ones. I want to also play Quantum Break. I want to check out, and then also I want to check out Gears of War 4 single player. I mean, I'll play a little bit of multiplayer, but I'm interested in single player, and I want to try out the Halo 5 single player. And then as far as this year, I'm really interested in seeing State of Decay 2. Really interested in that, and I want to check out Crackdown 3, and I want to check out. I know it hasn't been talked about much, but I want to check out how We Happy Few is looking. I'm interested in that, and then Cuphead. I'm looking forward to that, So those are the main games I'm looking at right now. Oh, and Killer Instinct. Definitely Killer Instinct. So, so there's a good bunch of titles for me to look at. But most of I don't care about racing games. So the Forza franchise and the Forza Horizon, I really not interested in that. But you saw with the other games, I'm really interested. I'm looking into that, And then when I get to console, check out what other games that Xbox has that PlayStation don't. Indies, because I'm into indies or single A's and double A's. Doesn't really matter, as I got the console and I see the content, I'll look up into it, you know? And hopefully Game Pass will have a lot of these contents that I'll be able to play and try out. So I'm looking forward to that. Um let's see. Are you getting PSVR? No, I will not be getting PSVR. Not for a long time. I can't. I understand the experience might be great, but I can't really invest $500 or $400 into that. Maybe when it gets to $200 and the library is a lot bigger, I probably will. But at this point, it's not for me. Or any VR, probably not for me. Mark William, how do you think Sony will respond to Xbox Game Pass? I hope Sony will evolve PS Now into also not just streaming, but also digital download, where you could digitally download the game and play it on your PS4. I know it's going to be a little bit of work because a lot of those games are PS3 games, and PS4 is not really backwards compatible at the hardware level. But hopefully, they're working on that to where they send an update where PS4 can now emulate these games and you can digitally download them. Well, not really, because can't you buy PS2 games and digitally download it? So I think they can do it. So yeah, basically, I hope they evolve PS Now where you could digitally download games. You know, so you could choose what you want. You could stream it, or you could just digitally download it and play it. And hopefully they do that. You know, and hopefully they get to that point. Sony got the rights for FIFA 18. That's the rumor. They show pictures, you know, but picture says 1,000 words, and not all of those words are truthful. Um, but that will be another huge thing for Sony, especially in Europe. That's pretty crazy. But it's a possibility. Especially I could see EA doing it simply because um PlayStation has such a huge market, just a complete market dominance. I mean, it is like complete saturation of PlayStation 4 in Europe, and FIFA is so big in the European content. You know, and not just there, but also you're talking the Middle East, in Africa, the whole continent of Africa. You know, wherever PlayStation sold there, it's just huge. And soccer's also huge in Asia too. So PlayStation is such a huge dominant presence there that FIFA 18 will best fit as marketing on that platform. Let's see what else. Is there anything else? Let's see. PR. Do you think Sony conference will be too filled with third party with first party sprinkle around it? I'm not sure how Sony's gonna play out Sony E3 because look right off the bat, and this is just first party content. They still have to show. You know, they're probably gonna show a little bit more of Uncharted Legacy, the DLC. Then there's Spider Man. Then you got God of War. More of Detroit being human, possibly Kojima's game, Death Stranding, and maybe gameplay of The Last of Us 2. So that's a combination of Sony first party or projects that they're funding directly. You know what I'm saying? That's six right there. Then you throw in rumors of Sucker Punch's new game and Bloodborne 2. That's already 8 games right there. So that's a lot of content right there. And that's assuming they only show 2 new games. That's assuming they only show a new game from Sucker Punch and a new game from, you know, from software in combination with Japan Studios. Then you got the third party deals that they're trying to show. Uh, it's going to be a stack, you know. And I would say because they don't have new hardware to introduce, they have a lot more time to show games. And I don't think they're going to show any indies because they didn't really show indies last year. So I would say there's going to be plenty of first party, but I want to see if they introduce new first party games and not just the ones we saw. I mean, again, I would love to see more gameplay of what's already been announced, but I think they need to show at least 2 or 3 new projects, you know, because if they don't, there's a potential of people will look at that E3 as nothing more as last year's E3 sprinkled with third party games this year, you know, and that's not really a good thing. So I hope they do show new titles. Um, let's see what else. All right, hearing a lot of things about Days Gone at E3. Think it will come out this year. It could potentially. I could see Days Gone. So you got Uncharted Lost Legacy coming out in August, right? Could Days Gone come out this year? Possibly. If it here's the thing though, Lost Legacy was already announced to come out in August, So if Days Gone was to come out this year, probably would have been announced now. So I'm not sure because I'm not sure Sony wants to put Days Gone in September, which is the same month Destiny 2 will come out. You know, October-ish and November-ish, you got other big games. I don't know when, Battlefront 2 will come out at some point around there. Call of Duty comes out in November. So it's a hard timing to put that title in between juggernauts, you know. So ah, I don't think Sony, I don't know. I'll say this: if they do come out with Days Gone, it's gonna come out in August. So you will have Days Gone and Uncharted Lost Legacy out in August. But that's the latest it's gonna come out. I don't see Sony putting out their big titles starting in September and beyond because at that point they're gonna be pushing the marketing they got for third party, which means they'll kick off 2018 with their exclusive games. And you see how successful that strategy works. You saw how successful Neo is, Neo Automata, Persona 5, Horizon Zero Dawn. They've done very well because there's not a lot of games in the first 6 months of the year. So, okay, let's see what else. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. No doubt, Luca. You know what I'm saying? You know what's funny? I still haven't played Dark Souls 3. My backlog's so big. So definitely, man. I mean, definitely when I boot up Dark Souls 3, I don't know if you have it, but definitely would love to do that. Let's see. Let's see what else. State of Decay 2, definitely. I'm looking forward for that. Looking forward to playing with the community and State of Decay 2. That does look good. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Um I keep hearing that. I heard Surge is like a Souls like sci-fi game. So I gotta look into looking at videos. But some people make comments on Twitter, and if that's the case, then I'll definitely look into that. I will definitely look into that. Um so yeah, that'll definitely be cool. And everybody's asking if Luca's a female. She's like, yes. And Luca talked in third person. Luca is a female. In fact, Luca, I think you a couple of times were you in the console ladies night podcast a couple of times? I think you were there maybe. When we will get name change at E3? I don't know. Good question. I made a video about that Sony is time to give up, it's time to provide name change and then, check out my video to go into detail with that. But if Sony's gonna do it, they're just gonna announce that they did it. They're not the type to, like kind of like the external hard drive support. They don't tell us 6 months in advance of what they're doing. They just do it. So I'm sure they're working on PSN, name change. They're just not talking about it. They're just gonna do it. Whenever that happens, it's just gonna come out. Let me see. Um, wanted demand. I say, should I upgrade to a PS4 Pro or stick with the Slim? Stick with the Slim. Um, um, unless you're really anal retentive about graphics, even just slight improvement, just stick with the Slim. If anything, save the money and wait. I don't know if you have an Xbox already or if you have a Switch, but just use the money to buy more games or to get a different experience in gaming. Yeah. So yeah, Luca. Yeah, that's right. Young Ladies Night. I knew that. There you go. So I was right. But I saw like 1 or 2 episodes of that. Why the hell is name change so hard? I don't think it's hard. Maybe I just don't know if it's on their priority list. I think that's the difference. I think they're looking at things that because a lot of people were asking, why is it so hard for Sony to provide external hard drive support and they support it? I think they're looking at things down the line of what I mean, I don't want to damage control, but let me put it this way: if Sony had to work on name change or external hard drive support, I could see why they chose to work on external hard drive support first, because that leads to money. That leads to the digital purchasers to be able to buy more games. Um, it might be hard. Maybe the way they designed the whole naming system, they screwed up and they never anticipated into doing a code to be able to change your name while still maintaining your profile. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty crazy. I gotta admit, it is something, and it's not like people are asking Sony to provide it for free. I mean, because I think people will pay the $10 to change their name. So when you think about it, it's another revenue source. So I really, it's kind of, it is weird, but I made a video, I don't know, and I asked my followers and subscribers to tweet it to Sony, send it to Sony. Maybe they'll listen, maybe not. Maybe I'll do another one now that I have 1,000 subscribers. I don't know. But I do think it's time to really get on the ball with that. Um, I'm not waiting for name change, but but like I said in my video, I explained why it's important. Hellblade, yeah, I'm definitely looking for Hellblade. Yes, it's gonna happen. All right. Let's see what else. What we got here? Um, my man Hello Stone says, Porter Rock, you're the only person in these streets that's fair towards Xbox. And I'll say this: I don't see why. You know what it is? I'll tell you this. Some channels, and this goes both ways, they do it to antagonize people. You know, some people will attack PlayStation because they know it'll antagonize PlayStation gamers, and people will attack Xbox because they know the words will antagonize Xbox gamers. And I'm not really looking to antagonize people. If I say something critical about Xbox, is not to antagonize you listeners. It's maybe just from my perception, something that can be addressed to make Xbox better or to address a situation on why things are, and vice versa with the PlayStation. So I never try to say this in the hopes of, ooh, I'm gonna make this video and I'm gonna talk my shit and this is gonna trigger a whole bunch of people. That's never my intention. I'm not trying to trigger people or to get a reaction or to get a response. That's not really my intent. But I know in this world of YouTube, so many people do that any channel that provides criticism, there's potential to look like you're one of those YouTube channels that simply want to attack a product or something. So I could, I understand that, So I just hope over time, as people watch my channel, my content, they get to understand me. And, more and more people have that. Some people saw one video and they saw me as a fanboy, but then, obviously they kept watching my video, they kept watching, and then over time they got to know me, and then they got to see where I'm coming from, and then that's it. That's all I ask. Just be patient. My man AJ says, even as shit as PSN now, I love being able to play my Ninja Gaiden. Like I said, but wouldn't you appreciate if it was a direct to download? It would be good, wouldn't it? I think so. All right. Let's see what else we got here. And the chat scrolled real quick. Okay. Portox said, what games do you think will be 4K 60 on Scorpio besides Forza 6? I'll be honest, I don't know. Really, I'll say this: the most challenging game. I'll answer this. The most challenging games is going to be the big open world and the big open world games. I think those will be the most challenging. And even with 4K 60, and you hear this from other Xbox channels, it really comes down to the settings, because you can have 4K 60 medium settings, you can have 4K 60 high settings or ultra high settings. So it depends on the settings. They could be, I would say you could probably get most games on Scorpio at 4K 60 medium settings with no problem, whatever. Here's my thing. If Xbox Scorpio can do 4K 30 on ultra high, just 4K 30 on ultra high, that's massively impressive for me. That alone right there is impressive for me. Because when you think about it, we're about to hit 4 years into the gen this November, and we're already hitting 4K gaming. And this is supposed to be a mid-gen refresh. To me, when the consoles were introduced as mid-gen refresh, the rumors was, talking about it, and this was before they of, rumors of 4K, when it was just Sony and Microsoft are working on mid-gen refreshes. I thought they were just creating consoles that would finally hit 1080p 60 on Ultra. I thought that's what they were trying to do. I didn't think they were even begin to step into the 4K realm. So again, Scorpio, just for me, hitting 4K 30 Ultra, that's impressive. But we're just gonna see how it goes. I'll say this: Scorpio will do a better job of pushing games at a higher resolution and maintaining a stable frame rate than the Pro is. It just has more hardware. But to how far and to how much of an extent it will go, we'll see. But I think Scorpio will do a lot more games at 4K 60 than Pro. I think a lot more, a lot more. Is it going to be every single game? I don't know. There might be a few games here and there, whether it's because of optimization or the engine or whatever, or because of the scope of the game, how big the game is. You might not see 4K 60. You might see 4K 50, 45, within that window, which is still good. Or the developer just might choose to keep it 4K lock 30 just so they could boost up even more graphics. But I'll say this: the Scorpio will do more than what the Pro is. We'll do a lot more. Let's see. Let's see. What other questions we got here? Yep. E3's around the corner. We're almost there. Okay. Oh, sorry. So somebody asked again if I'm getting a Scorpio or Xbox One. Yeah, I'm gonna get an Xbox One during the holidays. Um, so I'm looking forward to that. Hearing rumors of PS Vita 2, think it's true? I hope not, because I just don't see the Vita venture working. It's a small crowd, and I'd rather if they make a Vita 2, that means Sony has to dedicate studios or create studios or pay for studios to make exclusive games. I'd rather have them just focus on PlayStation, the console. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's just me. That's what I think. Let's see. Someone says that name change is kind of technically impossible because basically what was heard, it was coded the way it was coded. I hope not. That would be pretty terrible. Let's see. Let's see what other questions we got here. Keep going. Any other questions? Nope. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think Agent ever gonna come out? Ha! I don't know what Rockstar is doing. I know Rockstar owes Sony a game. I just don't know what's up with that agent. I mean, hell, is Grand Theft Auto 6 ever gonna come out this gen? Probably not. Um, Somebody asked me what Xbox games I'm looking forward to playing this year. I answered that question, but I'll just go over it one last time. This year, when I get my Xbox, I'm gonna be rocking out. I'm gonna look at Rise, Sunset Overdrive 2, State of Decay 2, Cuphead, Crackdown. What else? Gears of War 4, Halo 5, single player, mostly for the single player. And then, those are pretty much the things I'm looking at. But anyway, I think I'm talking too long. I appreciate all of you guys stopping by, and gals, ladies, Luca. Thank you so much for stopping by. And I hope I cleared some things up and keep you guys informed. Again, check out if you see me and you have me a friend on PSN. Check to see if I created a party. And again, if it's called 60 Frames No Lag Party, that means you are automatically invited. That means just jump right in and let's shoot the breeze, and it's just enjoy some time gaming. All right. But anyway, I'm gonna step on out. I gotta get ready and stuff. My wife should be coming home soon and stuff, and then we're gonna be heading out to watch Wonder Woman. But anyway, see you guys on Wednesday, 7 p.m. And I think I'm gonna be this Tuesday on Nico Demus's channel. So look for me there. And I think this Friday I will be on the GRG podcast for the PlayStation takeover of the GRG podcast. So look out for that too. All right. But anyway, Um, Take care. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. And for those of you that live in America, we know Monday's Memorial Day. That's it's a day to remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice for this country and stuff like that. Normal everyday American citizens that decided to sign up and serve their country for whatever reasons, and some of them paid the price. So while you're barbecuing or you're in the beach enjoying your time, just spend just a couple of seconds and just think of the Americans, of those who the men and women who just who are no longer here with us, but they did it for an ideal, and that's it. But anyway, thank you very much for stopping by. Thank you very much for spending your time with me. And for those of you who are listening to this recorded podcast, I hope you enjoyed. All right. Well, this is your boy Porter Rock 77. I'm out. This is your boy, the Gamers Champ. All right. Take care, people. Have a great weekend and enjoy whatever you're doing. And definitely enjoy the time you're spending playing games. All right. Peace.